Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So today we'll see one more concept in our R programming, that is input and output functions. So first let us see the input functions and then we'll move on to the output functions. So now I'll tell you the complete syntax of these input functions and output functions here, and we'll see the implementation in RStudio. So let us start with the input function. So in any programming language, so we need to give the input during the runtime. So we should not assign a values to a variable in the program itself. So we need to use some function and that reads the input during runtime, right? So here we are having two types of input functions which takes the input during the runtime. So one is a readline function, and one more is a scan function, right? So both purpose of using these both functions are equal. So both will read the elements from the user during runtime. So here always reads character data type. So readline function will always read the character data type. So for example, if user gives the input as 25, so that will be taken as a character. Okay, so whatever the data we are reading using readline function, that will be stored in terms of character. So how we can change this character into an integer. So we know that integer value should be ends with a L. It should be represented with a L at the end of the number. So how can we convert this character into this integer? So this is a character and this is an integer. So how we can convert? So for this conversion we are going to use a function called as.integer function. So by using this function we can convert one data type to integer data type, any data type to integer data type, right? So now the syntax here is a variable name. Syntax for readline is a variable name is equal to readline. So automatically whatever the value the user reads during the runtime, that will be stored in this particular variable name, right? And one more, also we can give a prompt. Okay, also we can give a prompt like this, where variable name is equal to readline, and here you need to give a prompt, right? Like enter value. So first this string constant will be displayed on the screen and then it will prompt for the value, right? So I'll execute all these cases in our RStudio. Okay, don't worry. So I'm just using the syntaxes, right? And one more way we can represent is variable name is equal to readline, and instead of giving directly we can use an attribute called a prompt. Prompt is equal to enter value. So in all these three cases we can read read the input from the user during the runtime, right? Either you can use an empty parameter, one parameter with a string constant, and one more parameter by using a prompt attribute, right? And in all these cases reads a single value, right? So the readline function will always read a single value as a character data type. So coming to the scan function, so it reads multiple values as a vector. So we have seen this vector in the data structures, right? So vector is a homogeneous collection of elements, right? So scan function is used to read multiple elements and it forms a vector. There's the only difference between this readline and scan. So scan doesn't take any parameters, so just we have to use a scan function only, right? So these are the input functions available in Python. So in order to read the input from the keyboard during runtime, so the user have to use either readline function or a scan function, right? Now after reading the value, so we need to produce the output, we need to display the output. Now we'll see the output function. So what are the different output functions it will support, right? So the next concept is output function. Output function. So here also we are having two types of functions. So one is a print function and another one is a cat function. Cat function. So print function is used to print the constant, string constant. So it will take only one parameter. So only one parameter, and also it doesn't concatenate multiple outputs. This is the most important. So it doesn't concatenate multiple outputs. For example, if your A is having some 5 and if you print A, this will give an output as a 5, and if you print A, it will return a result as A. But if you print A is equal to A, so it will print only the string. So it doesn't print the value of A. So this is the disadvantage of using print. So it doesn't concatenate a multiple outputs. So it can't differentiate the two different outputs. So here this is a constant string and this is a variable. So it can't concatenate both of things. So in order to display the same thing here, we need to use a cat function. So concatenate multiple outputs. So here we can write it as, so all the three cases we can write it here. So cat A, it will display the output as a 5, and cat A, it will display the output as A. Cat A is equal to comma A, then it will be treated as A is equal to 5, right? So here by using a cat function we can concatenate multiple outputs. That means we can combine both the string constant as well as the variable, right? So these are the different output functions we can use to display the output on the screen in R programming, right? So hope you understood the syntax. So now let us move on to the R Studio. I'll explain or by implementing all these 4 functions, input functions and output functions. So readline, next scan, print and cat. So let's move on to the system. Hello friends. So just now we have seen the complete syntax of input and output functions in R programming. So input functions, we have seen 2 functions. One is a read line function and a scan function. So these 2 functions are used to read the input to a variable during the runtime. And the output functions also, we have seen the 2 functions, print and a cat functions. So the purpose of both the functions is to display the output on the console. Now we'll implement the same thing in the programs. So let us open the R Studio. So in the R Studio, we'll take some values and we'll read the values at the runtime itself. Okay, see. So previously we have taken directly a value to the variable. Now we are going to use these functions. So A is equal to read line and print A. So you can see if you execute the same code, so it will prompt for the value. So if you give the value 10 and the result will be 10. Here you can observe, right? And this can also be done with a prompt. Okay, this can also be done with a prompt. So read line, and here you can give the prompt, enter value. So we can directly give the prompt here itself. No need to use the one more print function, right? So read line, and here I'll give enter value for A, right? If you execute, you can observe, so the prompt will be displayed first and then it will ask for the value. I'll give it 20, so we'll get 20 as a result. And you can observe, so here the value of 20 is enclosed in double quotations. So that means whatever the input we are reading through the read line will be considered as a string. So we need to convert that into functions. I mean, type conversion we have to do. So the one type conversion function is as dot integer, which is used to convert the any type of data into a integer data type. See, I'll write here once again. So after reading the value, so if you want to know the data type of that particular object or a variable, we can use a function called a class. So class of A will give you the data type of a particular object or a variable. So here usually we call them as an objects. Okay. See. So here it will prompt for A. I'll give some 25, enter. So the class of A is a character. So this is not an integer, it's a character. Even though we are giving some numerical data, so that will be considered as a numerical string. So that's why it was enclosed in double quotations. And now after that we need to convert into integer. So the function to convert in integer is as dot integer of A. As dot integer of A. So now if you execute here, so it will prompt for A. I'll give some again 25, and now you will get the result as an integer. You can see 25L. So in our data types concept, we have already studied that the integers will be represented with a L at the backside, right? So this is how we can use the read line function. Okay, and also one more syntax. So directly we can give one more attribute called prompt. Prompt is equal to enter value. So like this we can give, right? So let us try with that one. So read line prompt is equal to, so you can execute. Still we are getting the prompt. I'll give some 24, and again it is an integer. So class function is used to know the data type of a variable or an object, right? As dot integer function will convert the data into integer data type, right? So these are the two functions we are using now, right? So hope you understood the read line. So if you are not passing any parameter into the read line function, obviously it will prompt for the value, so nothing will be displayed in the console. And if you give some prompt as a string constant as a parameter to read line, then first the data will be printed on the console and then it will prompt for the value. And whatever the value we are giving after executing the read line function will always consider as a character data type. This is most important, right? Always the read line function will take the character data type as an input during the runtime, right? So one more thing is a scan function, which is used for reading a multiple values. That means a storing of vector, right? Storing of a vector. So we know that a normal variable is different from a vector. A normal variable can hold only one value and a vector can hold multiple values. Now you can see, so A is equal to scan. Use a function called scan and print A, and you can execute. See, it will prompt for A. So I'll give 10, see, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's keep on moving. So if you don't want to enter any more numbers, press again enter. So it will stop, and you can observe if you print A, we are getting some 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So here is the value. And you can also check the class. That means a data type of that particular variable. So which is nothing but a numeric. See, 10, sorry. Here it prompts for a value, so 10, 20, 30. So you can observe the data type of A is a numeric. Okay, so here also we will see giving a prompt, enter values, so it doesn't take any parameter. Okay, just we need to use scan function. Scan function is used to read multiple elements, so it will read a vector. In order to read a vector, so we'll simply use this scan function, right? So these are the two different functions, a readline and a scan function to read any value from the keyboard during runtime, right? Now the output function, so how we can display the output on the screen. So one thing is a print function, and here you can see, so read line, and let us take enter value for A, right? So it will prompt, and see, I'll execute, so it will prompt for A, I'll give some 67, and you will get a 67 as a result. If so, print function will always display the content on the screen. Okay, if I give here welcome to R programming, what happens here? So execute, it will prompt for A, because first line we have written some read line, and the second line welcome to R programming. So this is also right. So but we can't concatenate two different outputs in a single print function. That means if you want to display the value of A as, see, A is equal to A. So if I just want to get an output like A is equal to A, so that doesn't, see, I'll give some 10. See, that will not be supported. That means we can't concatenate two different parameters, two different outputs by using print function. So we'll get only A is equal to, this is a string constant. So only that function or that string constant will be displayed on the screen. So if you want to display both the string constant and the value of a variable, so we need to use a cat function. So cat, and use the same thing, A is equal to comma A, so which will display the complete output in a given format. See, A is equal to 34. A is equal to 34. So we can combine or we can concat two different parameters by using this cat function. So whatever the string we are enclosing in the double quotations, that will be considered as a constant string, and that will be displayed on the output screen. And outside the double quotations, that means other than the double quotations, whatever the variables we are giving, so that will be considered as a normal variable or a vector, and instead of printing the name of a variable, it will print the value of a variable, right? So in order to print the value of a variable, we should not enclose that in a double quotations. Okay, see, cat A, and you can execute. So I'll give some 67, and definitely we'll get the 67 as a result, right? And that's also, you can observe here, the character data type, right? So these two are functions. So readline function, scan function are used to read the input during the runtime, and print function and a cat function are used to display the content on the console, right? So in this explanation, we have seen two more functions, the class function, which is used to know the data type of a variable or an object, and one more function as dot integer, so which will convert the data into the integer data type. So by default, this read line function will take or will consider the value as a character data type, right? So this is all about our input and output functions. So hope you understood this one, and if you are having any doubts regarding this input and output functions, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. If you really enjoyed my session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.